Okay. And I think we're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to get a little
exciting.
more spiritualish today. I'm Jenny, and this is Amy from Soul Path Journey.
Hey, y'all, what's going on?
I have to stop my weight. Okay, now my sound is good. We're good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me, because I know I asked you to come on so we could talk about fun stuff. And the fun thing that you had mentioned, I always get very inspired. Everybody go to Amy's channel. You're talking about light codes. And I think if you could share what you know, and then we just riff and talk about it, because I think people right now really need to understand activation.
Yes. So I have been getting strong messages from my spirit guides, that it's really important that we start activating our light codes and our DNA codes right now and upgrading them. And I didn't really understand why or what that was talking about. So I decided to dig a little deeper, and I was looking up articles and researching. And when I was looking up what our DNA was, part of the activation process is a remembrance of who you are through every single lifetime. And it's kind of like a program or a code. It's like a disk drive or something that contains all of your information of everything you've ever done.
In every lifetime.
In every lifetime. It's kind of something along those lines. And so to activate it, it sounds like it's about remembering who you are and calling that energy in, because the more we can remember, I think the more powerful we become.
Yeah. Which totally turns me on, since you do past life regressions. And I know that when people tend to think of, when they find out something about themselves that they weren't aware of, it is a real game changer. And you can start connecting dots that you didn't realize, or you have patterns that you didn't realize where they came from. But what I wanted to run by you was, so I kind of read about it a little bit online, and it was talking about, like, because your DNA, like, it would go, I forget, but something like it would go to the moon and back like 7 million times or something.
Yeah.
Something insane that we have and they call it junk DNA. Like, that is not true. It is all coded information that is relevant. We just don't know how to tap into it, or we don't realize when we're tapping into it, or whatever, unless you do. And I wondered for myself, because I was telling you, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of when I become lighter and more me is when I strip away the dense 3D stupid stuff, the beliefs, the stuff,
the illusions, essentially, right?
Yes, the illusion. Like, if you take away the illusion stuff, you actually, I feel more my spirit self, right? Like, more who I really am as a soul, I guess, or as the spirit of Jenny, who living lifetimes or whatever. So I wonder if that wouldn't be, or is that how you activate? Like, I wonder what you have. That's kind of the big question. I was like, let's talk about life.
That's what I want to know too, because I feel like Cindy, one of my subscribers over on my channel, she asked that. She said, how do we activate our DNA? So I'm going to ask how we get into this energy.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And I'm going to do it too.
Yeah, you do it too, and see what cards come out for you. Okay, so God of Angels, how do we activate our DNA and upgrade it? How do we activate our DNA and upgrade it? So they're saying something about your light codes being triggered by a response to, what is it triggered by? A response to DNA. Light codes being triggered by a response to your DNA. So I guess there's light codes and then there's DNA codes. They're two separate codes. So there must be like they're like a computer system. They talk to each other.
Probably.
They light up. So what? How do we get our light codes? How do we connect to our light codes then? How do we connect to our light codes?
Okay.
It's a triggered response to the remembrance of the old. So the light codes is going to be probably just something that it's a triggered response to something that's from that past life in some way.
I got the contract card.
Contracts, okay.
So maybe we create, maybe somewhere else we designed our DNA codes.
I am getting something around. Yeah, I'm getting some validation for you on that. And I'm also hearing Netarian codes are coming up too, which I've heard of Netarian, but I don't know what it is.
Neutarian, like Neut, like neurons, Neutarian.
Okay, it's not even coming up. Netarian, is that the words? Netarian light codes.
Or Notarian from the planet Natar.
It's Netarian. It's coming in from Altona 77. That's where I had heard of them from. So Netarian light codes attract positive energies. Netarian light code talisman acts as a catalyst that gathers positive energies circulating into the universe and attracts these energies to the person. So it could be through positivity, could be through positive energies.
I'm getting the magician card, powerful, positive, making it happen.
Manifesting this good energy activates us, apparently. So it's through the light. Oh my God, it's through the light. So if you think of heaven, right, we're at a higher frequency, we're at the highest vibration, right? So our remembrance happens in the heavens, right? After we pass on, it's like we're going to a higher plane of energy. That's when we have our life reviews, right? We remember everything in the higher planes of energy.
It says reassessment. Yes.
Yeah.
We're reassessing. And also there's an inheritance. So like you're taking information with you. I don't know how much of this is predetermined. I didn't get the two of. It's
not predetermined. It already exists. It's just that you have to access them, and you access them the higher the vibration. So the higher the vibration of the planet is, the more we will keep activating our light codes and then remembering through our DNA who we are.
So look at this. The challenge is the stars.
It is a challenge, to stay positive.
The positive, bright prospects, right? That's the challenge.
So like fabulous. Like that's such cool information to know. So that's how we activate, is staying in the upper energies and shedding and releasing, like you were just saying, releasing this heavy stuff that just kind of comes on you. And that's how you remember who you are.
Yes. So that's how you activate your light codes.
All the information here on Spiritualish coming at you.
Drop the mic. We're done. Okay, good seeing you.
Yeah.
Well, that was very interesting. That was very cool.
I love that. So I
love that too.
I was wondering why all of a sudden I was remembering this dance from my past life, which I was a dancer on the stage at the Moulin Rouge. That was one of the venues I danced at, but they said I was at other dance halls, and I didn't understand why. But it's because of the vibrations lifting, and probably because I'm trying to cut out a lot of toxic energies around me. So the more I get into the higher vibrations, all of a sudden I'm going to start remembering this past life.
So I have a question for you. And I could be totally wrong, but I just have this feeling that I was somewhere dancing with you. But I've moved past whatever those lessons or whatever was. Like, I don't have that anymore, but I used to heavily beat when you were describing it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I used to do. And I was convinced I used to be in a previous life a performer, a dancer, singer. I cannot do that now. I have no musical at all. But I was wondering if you can know that at all. I mean, because it would be really funny if we actually did know each other before. It's
Let me
possible.
see. So, Phantom Angels, I'm going to call for a protected channel and see, did Jenny and I know each other in the past, in the most recent past life of ours? Did we know each other in the most previous past life of ours? They're saying yes. They're saying we crossed paths at some point across
Were you in New York?
railway stations.
Were you in New York?
That's what it feels like to me, because I'm like, I'm picking up the New York, and I keep seeing you on the street, but they're also saying they're referring you as Mademoiselle. So Mademoiselle, they said Jennie, but that's not your name in that lifetime. But I see you with your
one
boots.
time you said I have weird boots.
You have the boots on, and they keep showing you with like these long coats, and you're on you have streetwear, and you're wearing looks like more like winter gear or fall gear.
Maybe you were in town performing and maybe I was into it or something, because I also performed.
It's something like that. Was Jenny a performer in that past life, though? Was she a dancer in the? It feels like you have a Rockette kind of connection. That's what it feels like for you.
That would make total
so you were the
sense.
glitz
Yes.
and glamour of the Rockettes, but it doesn't feel like it was like a long-lived career. Like I see you going like this, like jazz hands. So you were, and they're saying center stage.
I did that in this life in high school, like kick line. You know?
So it goes together. It's funny because I had another Rockette come through as a client. Like she was shocked because she doesn't do anything even linked to that. She is, I think, in the same city, but yeah, she was a Rockette in the past life too. And she was like, really? What the hell? So I don't know if I was crossed over with the Rockettes, because I think I was in a dance troupe, and I think I was performing in all of the dance halls. So I think that's where we probably did connect, was that the Rock.
Maybe we just kind of briefly saw each other or something.
Rockefeller Center, they're saying. So that's where we were at.
No, but when you described it, that you were singing and you hit the notes, like you were able to actually access that
note.
I was like, I went, I wonder, because that I don't get any of that now, but I totally used to.
Yeah. Well, if you think about too, when you're younger, you're probably accessing these energies more easily, because we have less baggage, right? Less trauma.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder also, as I've been working, this is the thing, everybody, like self-development is about stripping away the ego self, the thing that you think you are, the person you think you are. Egoic disintegration is a part of that, like I think it's part of self-development. Not everybody has to do it. Oh my gosh, you don't have to do it. Some people are not into it at all, and that's fine. And it's not wrong not to be into it. But it's a journey if you do go into it, because you get stripped away of that thing that was conditioned at birth of like who you are, what you're doing. I'm Amy, I'm Jenny, and I do this and I do that, and that's good and that's bad. And it analyzes everything, but that's just 3D stuff. That is not that's not in the DNA strand. Or if it is, maybe part of that is, but I think that's the stuff that happens here when you're in your experience of the human.
They showed me something else that was really interesting. And I yesterday, after I got off the live with y'all, because I was talking about the past life, and they said, you were also an acrobat, by the way. And then they took me back to my childhood when I was on the monkey bars in my backyard and I would literally spend hours twirling upside down, hanging upside down, just from my legs. And then I would be doing all kinds of other things. I actually almost seriously injured myself doing it, but they were saying that was actually me remembering the past life and doing the same type of stuff.
Right. So that's one of the things I think, that's what I mean by patterns. Like if you can kind of see your patterns, things that maybe make no sense in the context of your life right now. But like, oh, every time I go in the kitchen, I do a little jig. Like, I mean, you're
Yeah.
tapping into something because it's no reason to do that.
Yeah. If you
But
just start like just
so they
branching
say
out and follow.
cellular memory. Well, every cell has our DNA in it. So
Yep.
you're actually, I was just explaining this to a client today. Like, if you think about your brain has the egoic structures within your brain, and it's telling you that's who you are, which is, just a part of you. It's every cell in your body, though, has your DNA, and that's all over. And so it's uh, it canvases so much more of who you are as a person, that's just very quiet, and you have to be really listening to hear it, versus the ego that's just really loud and is the voice in your head that's screaming at you what's good and bad and orders you around. I said, think of your ego as Quasimodo.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is more your intuitive self, though. Yeah, unless you're really tapped into your soul, right? And you're in rhythm and in alignment, right? And you're in more of the quiet modality, allowing things to flow through and there's no blocks.
which is your gift. Like, you're really good at that. I mean, I'm you know full disclosure, working with Amy to become better at that. So if you can join her mentorship thing, go do that. But it's true. We all can do this if we want to, but it is about being quiet and tapping in. And I do think the more in tune you become, there's just more information. Is that how I mean, that's the benefit.
That's
There's
what
just
they're saying.
more
They're saying it's a
information.
recalibration of your system, and how to recalibrate yourself back into alignment is typically through nature, going outside and connecting back to earth, and being more in silence. That's what they're saying right now. That's kind of the channel messages coming in.
Yeah,
That's how
I
you
got
recalibrate.
grounded.
Yep.
Grounding has changed my life. Grounding is one of those things that I used to think was so woo-woo, but it's not. I mean, it's like it should be taught in kindergarten.
Yeah, I think everything that was considered woo woo is actually more a necessity now. And I don't think it's going to be, it would not be considered woo woo anymore. It's just like a way of living and being now.
Yeah. And so what else can we say about light codes before we finish? Because I do want, if anybody has any questions, just you can leave the questions below. Or like I said, hop over to Amy's channel. She's always talking about these kinds of things. But boy,
Um,
we got to the heart of it pretty fast.
I know. My guides don't mess around. They're like, right to it, right to it. We're gonna get to this. It was like really
This is
odd
what you
how
want? Here you go.
the messages, the way it was coming in was like really interesting. I mean, it was kind of like connecting the dots, but we figured it out. Um, yeah, it just feels like right now I think it's important for us to really shed and release the shadow side of ourselves, because the faster we can do that, the faster we're tapping into more positive energies. We will feel more positive energies, because in a sense, law of attraction is always working for you. So like attracts alike, you're always going to be attracting in more positive people, even into your day. I mean, in terms of even visiting a grocery store, your bagger or, the person at the register is going to be kinder to you just based on your own demeanor. Like, you attract it throughout every experience in your day.
Can I tell you a psychology tip here? There is I mean, it's exactly what you just said, but like also there's research been done that I can't cite the research right off my mind, but you could probably Google it. But that people who do expose themselves to the general population, like people, like you just like go to the grocery store, just seeing people and making eye contact and smiling at strangers. You don't even have to have a full-blown interaction. It's just looking at them, smiling, live longer lives. So if you want to live a nice long life, you can actually just get out of your house for 10 minutes, go for a coffee at the deli or something, and just smile at people. By smiling and looking at people, we actually thrive.
We activate each other, yeah, through the interactions.
Hmm.
Yeah. And like, I was not feeling very, like, I was pretty sleepy, but my guides kept saying, just get on YouTube. You need to connect with your audience yesterday. And I was like, okay, are you sure I'm gonna be able to do this? And then the minute I came on, it was like the energy was like boom, 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 boom. It was like firecracker energy. It was like as everyone was coming in. And like
Oh
you
my
can,
gosh, it was so great. Everybody was popping in and saying things. It was wonderful. It was fun.
yeah, it's fun. And you can feel the other people's vibration. And all of a sudden it's like, I'm no longer tired. I'm no longer sluggish. I feel like we're no longer in like sad funk land. We're getting
Mhm.
to the root of what's going on. We're navigating these energies. And it was a complete like I feel like high vibe, spiritual conversation. I was like, wow, that's so fascinating where we went with everything.
That was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, thank you. I love having you on
Yes.
all the time. Pull a card for people. What can we tell them? Anybody,
Let's,
before you leave, what can we tell them? If you're watching this video, the thing you need to know is what?
are you pulling one too?
I'm going to pull one too.
Okay.
What
Let's
do the
pull a
viewers who see
card.
this video need to know?
Let's pull a card.
It's not an oracle card. I'm just pulling a card.
Oh my God.
Card.
Well, these are cool. I got birthing a new age right here and awakening. What did you get?
Ace of Wands.
Oh my God. Yeah. Holy cow. I don't think you could get a better card for birthing a new
It's
age.
like the same thing. New cycle, new enterprise, new, and it's birthing, and it's just all good. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So this is
Thank
new.
you.
This is new. This is how you can go and activate your DNA. I mean, activate your light codes, and you'll have fresh, new experience come to you, new information, and lighten up. Ah,
Yeah.
hugs, Amy.
Hugs back. This was awesome,
Oh.
Jenny.